May is National Stroke Month, which aims to raise awareness about the signs and symptoms of stroke and what to look out for if you or a loved one experiences a stroke. According to stroke.org, a stroke happens every 40 seconds. Each year, nearly 800,000 people experience a new or recurrent stroke. Stroke is the 5th leading cause of death in the U.S. Every 4 minutes, someone dies from a stroke, and up to 80% of strokes can be prevented. With all of these alarming statistics, you realize how important raising awareness for stroke really is. We spoke with Dr. Ross Tobelman, who is the Emergency Department Medical Director at Baylor Scott & White Hospital in Round Rock, Texas, to find out everything you need to know about stroke. So what exactly is a stroke?
So strokes are referred to as brain attacks. I mean, lay people would refer to a stroke as a brain attack, similar to like a heart attack, to where for whatever reason you have decreased blood flow to the brain, whether that's because you have a blockage or whether that is because you have bleeding into the brain. There's a couple of different types of strokes.
Strokes can affect any age group, and the main symptoms include sudden weakness or numbness in the face, arm, or leg on one side of the body, abrupt loss of vision, strength, coordination, sensation, speech, or the ability to understand speech, sudden to severe headache with no cause followed by loss of consciousness, unexplained dizziness, or sudden falls. Risk factors include high blood pressure, high cholesterol, family history, tobacco use, obesity, and physical inactivity. Dr. Tobelman discusses an ischemic and hemorrhagic stroke.
What happens with the ischemic stroke is that when you have a blood vessel and it gets narrow, okay, and then you have a clot that then blocks the flow of blood to the brain, that's an ischemic stroke. So you have no blood flow to the brain because you have a blockage in an artery of your brain. That's an ischemic stroke. Now, a hemorrhagic stroke is when you have a blood vessel that ruptures and you have bleeding into the brain. That's a hemorrhagic stroke.
A TIA, or transient ischemic attack, or mini stroke, is caused by a temporary clot. It has the same pathology of a stroke, producing similar symptoms, but usually lasting only a few minutes and causing no permanent damage. A TIA may be a warning. The Mayo Clinic notes that about 1 in 3 people that have a TIA will eventually have a stroke, with about half occurring within a year after the TIA. With a stroke, time lost is brain lost. That is why it's so important to take immediate action if you or someone you know experiences the warning signs of stroke.
So the biggest thing that people want to realize is that if you are having a stroke or stroke-like symptoms, that you need to get to the emergency department as fast as you can. So you call 911 and you come in by ambulance, because there is certain medications that we can give that can break up a clot. If you have an ischemic stroke, it can break up that clot, but we can only give that medication if your symptoms have started less than 4.5 hours.
Each May, the American Heart Association and American Stroke Association recognizes American Stroke Month by rallying the nation around the cause to educate people on stroke. FAST. Ever heard of it? Well, it's an acronym that stands for face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty, and most importantly, time to call 911. FAST reminds you of the most common symptoms of stroke and when to call 911 to get help. Another thing is to know what your risk is for having a stroke. Make sure you go to your doctor and test your blood pressure, cholesterol, quit smoking, and adapt a healthy diet and exercise plan. By knowing the risk factors and taking preventative measures, you can prevent stroke in both yourself and your loved ones. For Daily RX, I'm Shelby Collinin.